The other propaganda they push forward is there are some nurses that earn more than doctors. That is very correct. There are some nurses in US, in UK that earn more than doctors. But who are the nurses? The nurses are specialists in their area. So they may earn more than some doctors who are not specialists. But when you want to make that comparison, you should compare that nurse to a doctor who is also a specialist in that area. Yeah. For example, a cardiothoracic nurse earns about $157,000 in US. All right? But a cardiothoracic, an anesthetic nurse earns about $157,000 in US. But an anesthesiologist in US takes $437,000. Wow. So when you do the relativity, is there no relativity there? About 3 point something. So when we are talking, I wanted to talk like researchers, people with facts, not emotion. Emotion cannot make any nation to grow. You have to be dispassionate, be scientific in your approach to issues so that you can make progress. So we would like to appeal to them to tell the public the truth. And I like to encourage my children who are doing very well to go for good causes. Nursing is a very beautiful cause. Pharmacy is a very beautiful cause. Again, maybe we also lay some of the blame on government. Why should you put nurses, pharmacists on the same salary scale for other health workers? It's not done anywhere in the world. Yeah. The next group of people that earn after doctors are the pharmacists.
Now, you
closely followed by nurses.
Yeah, Dr. Nosa, you've identified key areas where there are lapses.
Yeah.
And you are the chairman of the national chairman of the Remuneration Committee.
Yes.
Now, what are you doing to ensure that some of these disparities are clarified? Because if you ask me, they didn't start today. They started a long time ago. I don't know. But some of these problems you've identified, what are you doing to ensure that it's been settled once and for all?
Well, we have offered advice.
Has it been taken?
To government.
Has it been taken?
To National Salary Wages and Income Commission.
Has it been taken?
It has not been taken. There is a tripartite committee now. NMA is a member. I'm a member of that committee. We are talking. We have written our positions. We have informally told those concerned that we need to disaggregate salaries. In developed countries, all doctors don't earn the same salary.
Okay. Where did this problem start from?
It started from Udoji, 1975. In fact, we actually hold Udoji responsible for what is happening in the health sector. The reason is because he aggregated all workers into a grading system. You have to be paid according to your contribution to clinical care for the patient. That's what they done in countries where you don't have this crisis. I'm a public health physician. I should not aspire to earn the same salary as a neurosurgeon. A neurosurgeon in the US takes about $1.3 million. The salary of the President of the United States of America is about $400,000. If I say that today, I know how Nigerians will react. If I say the salary of a neurosurgeon in Nigeria should be higher than the salary of President Buhari, I know how Nigerians will react.
But in the US,
that's not that. See, so we need disaggregation of salary in the health sector so that people will be committed. There are some surgeons who are not happy today because they are not being paid the way they should be paid. I'm a consultant. I don't want to earn as much as a surgeon, but I'm not saying I'm not as important, but I know that it takes extra. A neurosurgeon takes about 8 years, additional 8 years to become a neurosurgeon. Wow. I need about 6 years to do mine. So where's the compensation for the extra 2 years? And the quality of care is given to the patient. Today, the laboratory scientist says they don't want any supervision from the pathologist. But in advanced countries, when the laboratory scientist has finished investigations, he hands over to the pathologist. The pathologist plays the role of a safety valve for the patient. But they will not tell you all this. But they were created by the pathologist. The creator is saying the creator is no longer important.
Now, in all of this, is NMA helpless?
Well, I cannot say NMA is helpless because we are focused. We have been consistently advising government
There's no way a
on
doctor's
what
salary
to do.
is equal to, even
But
when
there's a
I'm
problem
working
with
for 9 years as a
those
graduate.
For example, now, you want to do investigation, the laboratories are locked. Locked up. Why should a worker lock up the property of the federal government? And the federal government is watching. NMA cannot go and say, open the, we can only advise. So, we are not helpless because we have the information, we have been advising, we have made suggestions on what to do, but the government is not taking those advice seriously. Rather, they keep asking the NMA to continue to give and give and give and give without telling the other group to say, you have had enough. Let's have this.
Right, Dr. Francis, with the agitation, of JOHESU as we speak, there is also a threat coming from your own side of the divide. Now, are you willing to embark on a strike if the federal government gives a listening ear to JOHESU? Will your association go on strike?
Well, sincerely, I don't think the direct question should be, do you want to go on strike? Why are we here? If we want to let the federal government know that, look, follow the agreement, the collective bargaining that we have done together.
Yes,
so,
Dr. Nosa just made a very critical statement.
Yes.
He said the political will,
yes,
most times is
yes,
not there.
yes.
Now, it's on that premise that I'm
Yes.
leveraging on to ask you that if the federal government says yes to JOHESU,
Yes.
what will be your reaction?
Our reaction is to welcome that yes, but to tell them we must have this, our agreement that is precedent to be in place. So there are so many things. Well, it's not only relativity that they are on strike for. There are so many things that they are asking for and they are requesting for. You see, unfortunately, when you have in a multitude, when you have somebody giving a wise advice, even if it's the wisest man, most of the time in a multitude, you see a lot of, no, it doesn't make sense. But when you are in a place in which you sit down together and we discuss based on superior argument, it is very, very much likely that we'll be able to agree to a point. So we are positive that the government would, before they take any action, they will have to consult us. We have to discuss so that we can continue to have the harmony. We want to be with this government to ensure industrial harmony within the health sector. So if I talk about we are going on strike, it's like I'm going to the last option when we have not even started. So we may not say, you give them, we go on strike. That is a knee-jerk approach. We are positive that the government of today, it has the listening has the will to stand on the truth. We have had the minister. I've seen them maligning the minister. It's not as if the minister is saying something that is out of this world. The minister has referred to the international best practices. Okay? For example, sir, you are wearing a shirt and you are putting a tie. Why don't you just get a scarf and put it and say, look, this is how it should be in Nigeria. You must dress in a normal way. Okay? And that is what the minister is just telling them. There is no place in this world that there is parity. And you are saying minister is not is biased. So the minister, because he's a doctor, he should say, no, because you are so many, there is no parity, or there is parity. The minister will continue to say the truth. Okay? I want to plead with our friends. It is time for us to come back together. Let's sit together and see the patient as the prime person or personality while we are there. And to let you know, sir, amongst the professionals in the health sectors, the only group that swear an oath to take care of life, dignity, confidentiality, and all other things is the doctor. Is the doctor. And the absolute responsibility is on the doctor. Who can protect the interests of the patient most is the doctor. Unfortunately, because of sheer number, they have perfected, will I say, propaganda, and they want to look as if doctors are asking for things that are outside this world. During colonial eras, when a doctor who is the chief, their salary was higher than that of Supreme Court judges, a consultant. Today, we are not even close to half or one third of what they collect. And this is how we have gone down. Yet we keep working. Have you asked yourself why we have doctors, once they are trained in Nigeria, through all the tactics of our people in this country? You train a doctor, and the next thing he lives here, he goes abroad and is performing wonderfully. Why do we have this ease of brain drain? Why do we have doctors, Nigerian doctors abroad, doing superly? It shows that we are well trained. It shows that we can excel. And it shows that there is a problem with this country that is not making our best to stay.
Okay, one of the arguments put forward by JOHESU is the fact that the NMA doesn't belong to any trade union congress, and with that they're saying that you don't have the right, to determine what their take-home package will look like. How will you react?
But do we have a right for our own take-home package?
Maybe, yes.
Or unless you want to tell me that I will ask Labour Congress to come and do my own take-home. So if I have a right to my own take-home, and I have a cleaner cleaning this place, you as a presenter, you have a right to also know the relation between his or her own take-home and yours. You see, when they bring out this issue of trade union association, well, I think it's a defeatist argument. The argument we are talking about is, yes, what are the things, how are they paid all over the world? Dr. Nosa has given us some payments to do outside this country. It is international. Go to the Google and Google it out. You see it. Okay? And if they are talking about union or no union, does that mean that because you are union, you can override the internationally accepted norm? No. NMA is not saying that you don't have right to your own agitation. Have right to your agitation, but your right ends by the time you want to impinge on another person's right. NMA says whatever you want to take, go and take it. But we have had relativity that we have moved from 3.3 to 1.5. We said you can't go beyond that. And this 1.5 is just on one grade level. On grade level 10, grade level 12, and grade level 13, we are 1-to-1. Parity is there. We have lost it. Okay? So, either we are union or we are association, at least as a human being, not even in any association, I deserve a right to know what is my worth. And I deserve the right to know the worth of people working with me so that I can appropriately appreciate how worthy I am within the people. I don't think this comes into play. How has unionism or associationism, if I have to use that, got to do with the care of patients? How has that? Hospital is not a place for you to start saying you are union, what has that got to do with that? You see, if you are in any other profession and you have gone on strike, or you have decided to have some negligence on your duty post, most times you can get it repaired. You can come back and change it and correct it. But for human life, for dignity of human being, a lot of things can happen within few seconds that can never be reversed. That is the position of health. That is why we put a lot of premium in health. That is why the government must put its feet down to say that this is how it is done. Look, I don't know what will happen to me in another 1 year, some months, few hours. I will certainly go to one hospital or go to one place. If you don't have specialists there, what is the outcome? It can happen to anybody. Now that they have been on strike, doctors are still working in the hospitals and they are doing well. However difficult it is, we can still work. Okay? However, but I must tell you that many of the people we are treating are also these JOHESU's family members and their staff. You see, nobody knows the next person that will need that medical attention. Will you rather want to go and consult a lab technologist, a lab scientist for your ailment, or a doctor? And if, as a doctor, will you like to consult a specialist? Well, not denigrating us, a generalist, not denigrating. There are some specialists that you need to consult. They have gone ahead beyond the generalist knowledge. Okay, by the time we are going through this level, you are getting better and better healthcare treatment. But what we are doing is that let us put everybody together. No difference. All of us are the same. All animals are equal. Then let us collect the same thing. That is where they are going. And I think it is high time we stopped this in this country.
So what would be your advice to JOHESU as we speak?
My advice to JOHESU is that let us come back home. The interest is primarily for the doctors, for the patients, sorry. The doctors are willing to discuss with them. Let us all sit down. Let us get all the books all over the world. Let us distill it. Let us agree. Gangsterism, unionism, arm twisting will not help the patient. Will not help the patient at the end of the day. Propaganda will be to the detriment of Nigerian populace. We want to improve the health situation in this country. JOHESU should partner with NMA. Let us sit down at the table. Let us perspire. Let us get the best. We are ready to discuss with them, but not this way that they say everything must come head on them.
All right, Dr. Francis, let's talk a little bit, even though my time is up, but I won't let you go without talking about Ebola. You know, as we speak, the federal government has intensified border patrols, both at the airport and all that. And now that JOHESU is on strike, how have you been coping with the pressure that you're trying to absorb as far as Ebola outbreak is concerned in the Democratic Republic of Congo?
Well, I must say, until Patrick Sawyer came to Nigeria, we have had several outbreaks of Ebola in Democratic Republic of Congo, Cote d'Ivoire, Sierra Leone, and others. The government of the country had largely been very effective to maintain its border. What we need to do now is to make sure that our border are well controlled. There is increased surveillance, which we have to thank the Minister of Health, Professor Adewale, and the federal government for increasing the surveillance. And again, the doctors have been well informed that look, some of the symptoms, the constitutional symptoms for this, let us be on the lookout. Okay? And I'm very positive. JOHESU or no JOHESU, doctors will be able to contain this disease. And we are praying that it will not be able to cross our borders.
All right, Dr. Nosa, you are part of the public health, right? That sector and all that. Now that we have news of Ebola and, you know, coming into the Democratic Republic of Congo, what do you think? I know the president has given us an overview. As public health personnel, what do you think should be done at this point, aside what the federal government is doing?
Well, the single instrument that helped Nigeria to control the last epidemic was information. Information. through all channels of outlets. And I think we should not jettison that. While the federal government is putting practical measures on ground, we should raise the level of awareness among the populace and remind them on sanitary processes that we observed during that period and continue to observe.
And we should also eat bushmeat again. All right, that's how much time we permit us on the interview segment. We've been speaking with Dr. Francis Faduyile, who is the president of the Nigerian Medical Association right here in Abuja, and we also have Dr. Nosa Lancy Orhue. He's the national chairman, Remuneration Committee of the Nigerian Medical Association. Thank you very much for finding our time to be here. Even though JOHESU is on strike, you ought to be taking care of some patients, but we are here taking care of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We are extending the care of patients through the audiovisual.
Yeah, that's very
Yes,
correct.
thank you very much.
Thank you so very much for coming.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a very short break, and when we come back, we'll be looking at major headlines on the target. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.